We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Disputes on border policies, NATO expansion, images from the moon, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Former President Trump blasted Democrat border security and law enforcement policies for the murder of Georgia student Laken Riley at the hands of an illegal immigrant, vowing that when elected, he will immediately seal the border and begin the largest deportation operation of illegal criminals in American history. Riley, a 22-year-old nursing student from Augusta University, was found dead on the University of Georgia campus Thursday after her roommate reported to authorities that she had not returned home from her morning run. The University of Georgia Police Department arrested Jose Antonio Ibarra and charged him with malice, murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, kidnapping, hindering a 911 call, and concealing the death of another, according to UGA Police Chief Jeffrey L. Clark. Meanwhile, New York City Mayor Eric Adams on Monday doubled down while speaking to a group at a town hall meeting in Canarsie, Brooklyn, saying the sanctuary city law needs to be modified so that any migrant who commits a felony can be turned over to ICE and deported. Adams commended his administration for doing an excellent job during a challenging time, but stated his hands are tied by federal and local law. The mayor spoke about some migrants participating in robberies and using mopeds to commit snatch and grab stick-ups. The issue, Adams said, became a real problem, so the police chief and his team focused on the illegal mopeds and found many of the people committing the crimes had drugs and guns. Sweden will soon be the 32nd member of the NATO military alliance after Hungary's parliament voted yesterday to allow the nation to join NATO following more than a year and a half of saying, "You can't sit with us." Sweden and Finland both sought to join after Russia invaded Ukraine. All member countries must approve any new ones, and while Finland got a quicker nod, Hungary's authoritarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban blocked a vote on Sweden's bid for more than 18 months. His decision to finally allow the vote, which went 188 to 6 in favor of admitting Sweden, paves the way for Sweden to join NATO as soon as this week. The Federal Trade Commission sued on Monday to block the $24.6 billion merger between grocery giants Kroger and Albertsons. 9 states joined the lawsuits filed in U.S. District Court in Oregon. The combination of Kroger and Albertsons and their several brands would be the largest grocery merger yet. The FTC alleges that the merger, which would combine the second and fourth largest grocery store chains in the U.S., would lead to higher food prices for customers at a time when Americans are already spending more of their money on food than they have in the last 30 years. The proposed mega grocery chain would own 5,000 plus stores across the country, including popular stores like Fred Meyer, Ralph's, and Safeway, and would control 15 to 20% of the market, still short of Walmart's 5,200 stores and more than 25% market share. The merger would ensure our neighborhood supermarkets can better compete with mega retailers like Walmart, Costco, and Amazon, Albertson said, benefiting our customers, workers, and communities. Intuitive Machines' Odysseus lander returned its first images from the moon's surface over the weekend as the spacecraft settles into its lunar destination. The company's historic IM-1 mission is now operating on the moon after landing on Thursday, becoming the first privately developed spacecraft to soft land on the lunar surface. Intuitive Machines initially reported Odysseus was standing upright, but in an update late Friday, company executives said they believe the spacecraft caught its landing gear sideways in the moon's surface while touching down and tipped over. Despite resting on its side, Odysseus is still sending back data. Intuitive Machines expects Odysseus to operate until Tuesday morning, when its solar panels will no longer be exposed to the sun. Lawyers for former President Donald Trump on Monday officially filed notice that they're appealing the $464 million civil fraud judgment against him and his company. Trump's attorneys said in a filing that they want an appeals court to determine whether Judge Arthur Engoron committed errors of law and or fact, and whether he abused his discretion and or acted in excess of his jurisdiction when he handed down the massive judgment against Trump and his company earlier this month. The $464 million figure includes the prejudgment interest that accrued on Engoron's more than $350 million award against Trump and the Trump Organization. The order also bars Trump from running any New York businesses for 3 years. It is widely expected that the decision will be overturned. The Food and Drug Administration is warning people who use smartwatches and smart rings to avoid using certain devices to track their blood sugar levels. The warning, issued last week, says smart devices that claim to monitor blood sugar without piercing the skin can relay inaccurate information that can cause patients or caregivers to improperly administer medication for conditions like diabetes. For people with diabetes, inaccurate blood glucose measurements can lead to errors in diabetes management, including taking the wrong dose of insulin or other medications that can rapidly lower blood glucose. Taking too much of these medications can quickly lead to dangerously low glucose, leading to mental confusion, coma, or death within hours of the error, reads a portion of the FDA warning. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.